Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a Victoria man faces 5 charges after an arrest on Sunday. A big change is coming for students in nursery ISD. Find out how their future school options are changing. And going on right now, a meeting in Goliad County to determine the future of the Fannin Monument. Will the county keep ownership or will it go to the state?
High humidity and cloudy skies in the crossroads again today. When does the rain chances return to our forecast? We need the rain. We'll tell you that up in the full forecast.
And earlier today, Industrial girls golf team competed in day 1 action at the state tournament held in Austin. I'll tell you their day 1 score and some top individual performers coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Shauna Curry is off tonight. Victoria police are looking into the death of a 28-year-old man found at a home Sunday morning. Officers were called to the 1400 block of Mimosa Avenue for a welfare check where they found the body of Sostenes Martinez. An autopsy has been ordered, but police have not shared further details, citing an active investigation. A Victoria man faces charges of assaulting a peace officer. Victoria police Sunday were called to a home on the 4600 block of North Bend Jordan Street in response to an assault. An investigation showed there was an assault reportedly by 24-year-old Jonathan Rojas. While Rojas was being placed under arrest, he is accused of assaulting an officer. At the Victoria County Jail, Rojas reportedly assaulted a Victoria County deputy. Rojas faces 5 total charges. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $65,500 bond. A West Central Texas school principal is indicted on a charge of continuous sexual abuse of a child under age 14. Authorities say 58-year-old Kenneth Wallace was tracked from his home in Valera and arrested in Cuero on April 11th. The indictment shows the allegations against him happened between November 2022 and December 2024. Wallace worked in several Texas school districts and was most recently listed as principal at Panther Creek Consolidated ISD. He's out on bond and was ordered to have no contact with children. The district has not responded to our request for comment. Students in nursery ISD will have a different path through later school grades. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with nursery superintendent to learn more about the new agreement with Victoria ISD. Ray?
Yes, Don. Nursery ISD serves students through 6th grade. After that, students have traditionally moved on to Cuero ISD or another district chosen by their parents. Cuero ISD has decided not to renew its automatic transfer agreement, so Nursery ISD turned to Victoria ISD, and the two have now finalized a new partnership. Superintendent Dr. Larry Gajewski says this is a great time to team up with Victoria, and he's focused on giving students more opportunities. He believes every child can learn and every family deserves a door to open. The agreement is reviewed each year with a memorandum of understanding guiding the transfer process. His main goal is making sure kids have a clear path to learning and that parents have a choice in whether their kid goes to school.
We care about our kids holistically. We want to ensure that they have the opportunity to go out and perform.
Nursery ISD will go up to 7th grade this upcoming year. So with this partnership, Victoria ISD will accept students in grades 8 through 12 starting in the 2025-2026 school year. Don?
Ray, thank you. Residents in Goliad have their say about a proposed $1 million sale to the Texas Historical Commission. County commissioners have said they would not make a decision without hearing from the residents. Going on right now is the first town hall. The meeting began just after a regularly scheduled commissioners court meeting. The commissioners could potentially take action on the topic today. We'll have the latest on 25 News Now at 10. DeWitt County Commissioners Court ended the burn ban in that county this afternoon. The burn ban was put in March 24th. The commissioners feel it's not a public safety hazard to do outdoor burning in the unincorporated areas of DeWitt County. Clouds and some sun on a Monday. Let's go to Trey Mining with a first look at the forecast. Trey, are we getting any more rain this week from what you're seeing?
We sure are. There are a chance to be increasing as we head toward the middle part of the week. More on that a little bit later on. Currently on the outside Victoria, cloudy to partly cloudy skies, 81 warm degrees with humidity near 70%. A lot of moisture out there. That means if moisture is available in the atmosphere and it needs something to lift it up and build clouds skyward to give us rain chances, which a front will do that coming up by the middle part of the week. How much we're looking at? What days have the best rain chances? We'll find out later in the full forecast. Back to you, Don.
Trey, thank you. Early voting in Victoria for the May 3rd election continued today. 409 people voted in person today for a total of 1,456 through 5 days. 97 early votes came in by mail, 261 mail-in votes total. 1,717 total votes cast. That's 3.3% of Victoria County registered voters. In Victoria, voters will decide on a venue tax that would fund a portion of revenue needed for community center renovations. If passed, the venue tax will create a new 5% vehicle rental tax and raise the hotel occupancy tax from 7 to 9%. The renovations to the community center would include a new event arena and upgrades to existing building. Now, last week, the American Car Rental Association sent out a mailer encouraging people to vote no on this Proposition A, saying it raises unnecessary funds for vanity projects and does nothing for roads or public safety. Victoria voters will also decide the mayoral race and 2 Victoria ISD school board seats. Bloomington residents will be voting whether or not to incorporate the town. Early voting is at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center ending Tuesday. Ending tomorrow, you can vote there or the Bloomington Volunteer Fire Department from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. To see the list of all local races, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Election Day is May 3rd, this Saturday. Tuesday afternoon, the Calhoun County ISD Board will hold a special meeting over a proposal to grant a tax break of over $248 million to ExxonMobil. The tax break is tied to ExxonMobil's plan to build a new petrochemical plant called an ethane cracker in Calhoun County near the Formosa Plastics plant. In return for the $248 million tax breaks, ExxonMobil proposes to create 300 jobs, meaning the agreement would cost Texas taxpayers over $828,000 for every job promised. The meeting time is set for 5 p.m. Lufkin police are searching for a person accused of putting marijuana in plastic eggs and placing them in 3 city parks. 4 warrants were issued for Avante Nicholson, 3 of which are for delivery of marijuana in a drug-free zone. The 4th warrant is a state jail felony for delivery of marijuana. 4 of the eggs were found by police, but the 5th egg was found by a man and his granddaughter, who took it to the police. Anyone with information about Nicholson's location is asked to call Crime Stoppers. The Texas House is expected to vote on a bill that would exempt law enforcement officers from being charged with deadly conduct for actions taken in the line of duty. The state Senate approved a nearly identical bill earlier this month. To read the full Texas Tribune article, go to our website, crossroadstoday.com. Cardinals today set May 7th as the start date for the conclave to elect Pope Francis's successor. This delays the secret voting so they can get to know one another better and find consensus on a candidate before they are sequestered in the Sistine Chapel. The Cardinals gave themselves extra time to speak in more informal sessions. Only Cardinals under 80 years of age are eligible to vote. Cardinal Farrell, formerly of Dallas, will lead the Catholic Church until a new pope is elected. Former Houston Cardinal DiNardo will get to vote on the new pope. For today's viewer poll, we're asking, how closely will you be following the conclave to elect the new pope? Very closely, somewhat, or not at all? We have a pretty close vote here. 43% saying they will follow it not at all, while 37% say they will follow the voting somewhat. We thank all of you for voting, and go to crossroadstoday.com to let us know. We'll have another look at the results on 25 News Now at 10. Martinelli's recalled more than 7,000 cases of their apple juice over concerns of toxic substance contamination. The affected apple juice was sold in stores in 10-ounce round glass bottles with a white metal screw top lid. The FDA reports the impacted cases might be contaminated with patulin. That's a poisonous substance produced by certain molds often found in rotting apples. Consuming patulin can cause nausea, gastrointestinal disturbances, and vomiting. The infected bottles were distributed in Texas. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, a boat flees after a deadly collision in Florida. Also ahead, 2 months after Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead, their final autopsy results are released. Passengers aboard a public transit ferry in Clearwater, Florida Sunday were returning from a sand sculpting competition when their trip turned terrifying. Within seconds, a recreational boat slammed into their vessel. The horrific crash captured on a city camera. We should warn you, viewers may find some images disturbing.
You never expect any of this to happen.
Brenda Alvarez, her husband, and 2 small children were aboard the Clearwater Transit ferry when the unthinkable happened.
All of a sudden we hear the first mate yelling, hey, 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 and then we look back behind us and this big yacht just came through the boat.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. There's been a boat collision. Clearwater ferry is adrift.
We had another boat which ran into the ferry.
The recreational boat destroyed the ferry's canopy and severely damaged the passenger area. The collision captured by a city camera located near the Clearwater Memorial Causeway Bridge. Rob Shaw, public information officer for the city of Clearwater, says the ferry came to rest on a nearby sandbar where some passengers were able to walk to shore. Several others were treated by first responders and transported to an area hospital, including 2 who were airlifted. 1 later died, says Shaw. In the chaotic aftermath, the recreational boat fled the scene.
Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies located about 3.5 miles south by the Bel Air Causeway. The operator and the passengers were on board that vessel.
We can understand how fast they were going, like how that is even logically possible.
Authorities say they believe everyone has been accounted for. The Coast Guard and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission are leading the crash investigation. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
A final autopsy report for actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa confirms their causes of death. It comes 2 months after their bodies were found in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Arakawa died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. It's a virus that can be deadly and is spread by rodents. Days later, Hackman died of heart disease and Alzheimer's disease. The couple was recently laid to rest in a small private memorial in Santa Fe. Hackman's 3 adult children attended. There's a man in Kentucky who is going to need to buy a bigger wallet. James Farthing made history over the weekend by winning the largest lottery ticket in that state's history.
His name is James Farthing. He tells us he's the winner, and he and his mother have the ticket to prove it.
I still don't even believe it's real.
Farthing still has to bring the ticket to Louisville to be verified, but all of the Powerball numbers on this ticket match the winning ones. He says he came into the Clark's Pump and Shop Saturday evening to buy some candy and a lottery ticket, but he left with so much more than that.
I come in here all the time buying. Yeah, all the time. I'm always buying them. Because I'm like, somebody's got to win.
He says he found out he won Sunday afternoon when his mother told him.
I was in Lexington at Red Mile making a bet.
And I called and texted to him and I said, you know, and he said the man here sold it to him, so.
With the winnings, Farthing says he's saving and giving back to his mom.
I've caused a lot of stress on her. You know, I made some bad decisions in life, and, you know, God's been good because I've kept my faith and done right.
Now he's won Kentucky's highest ever Powerball jackpot.
And it's a lucky town. The second highest Powerball jackpot win was also in Georgetown at a Travel Pro Marathon in 2009.
Mitch Bowling has worked at this Clark's Pump and Shop location for almost a decade. He sold the winning ticket Saturday.
I've sold big winners before, but nothing like this. I mean, this is unprecedented.
Farthing says he never thought he'd walk out of the gas station $167 million richer. But as they say,
you got to play to win.
And this weekend, Farthing won big.
I think we need to go by Georgetown and pay them a visit. 85 degrees currently, and for the daytime high in Victoria today, low 72 degrees, above normal for a normal high and low. We're also way under normal for our rainfall for both the year and the month of April. Rain chances on the way. That's a yes. We'll give you the details coming up in your forecast. And good evening, everyone. Trey Mining here. We have a tornado watch way out in the western part of the state of Texas, all from about Midland, Odessa, to about Abilene, Wichita Falls, and into Oklahoma, near Oklahoma City. So thunderstorms breaking out there. Some of these have the potential for producing some very large hail and tornadoes, but that'll be staying well west of our area here. The nearest one to us is there near San Angelo, which is quite a bit away. In comparison to that, we've been pretty calm today, and we'll continue to be pretty much on the quiet side weather-wise. Cloudy to cloudy skies, a lot of moisture off the Gulf. So the humidity is quite high. Don't have a lifting mechanism to get the moisture to build clouds skyward and give us rain chances, but that'll be changing in the next few days. I'll show you that here in a little bit. Average high on this date throughout the week actually 83 degrees. So we're running a little bit 4 or 5 degrees above normal every day. Then we go through the rest of the week this week. So running those air conditioners for sure. Have a few little small rain showers earlier near San Antonio and near Hallettsville. That's pretty much has gone out of the picture now with the big sunshine beginning to reduce, and we have cloudy skies still continuing. And the front out west, keeping this weather threat there west of Del Rio in the western part of the state of Texas for us here, keeping that pretty much moisture in place for our region here, keeping the humidity quite high, and the temperatures well above normal for us. And we reached our high about 3 o'clock of 85 degrees, and we'll cool off a little bit. I guess you can call it cooling off. It'll be in the low 70s coming up by early tomorrow morning, by about 8 o'clock in the morning for your Tuesday. So starting off with some morning cloud cover, then partly cloudy skies throughout the day with high temperatures in the mid-80s or so for the majority of the region. A little bit of gusty winds as well. There are 30-mile-per-hour gusts continuing with that, coming in off the Gulf. You see that evidence right here, but looking at the arrows coming out straight out off the Gulf of Mexico, keeping our humidity quite high here. And the rain chances out of the picture until we get to tomorrow, maybe a little bit more rain chances during the middle part of the week. Still with the gusty winds near 13 to 14 miles per hour by mid-morning, and then calming down a little bit in the overnight when the sun begins to set, and have that radiant of winds coming off the Gulf, keeping us pretty much on the breezy side. And looking at the weather model, most of the precipitation for your day on Tuesday will be well out west and north of our region here. But as you run this model all the way through your day on Wednesday, getting a little bit closer to the crossroads area, with a better rain chances by then. And the front gets closer to us and pretty much stalls out over the area. So we'll keep at least small chances in our forecast area coming up for the next 2 days, beginning tomorrow through the weekend. Port Lavaca, cloudy skies. Start off with the morning time, then afternoon highs in the 80s again. Southerly winds near 20 miles per hour with higher gusts. Cuero, cloudy skies in the morning time, with partly cloudy skies by afternoon with higher gusts near 20 miles per hour. In the mid-80s for the daytime high there as well. And Victoria, cloudy skies in the morning time, partly cloudy skies throughout the day, gusty winds, warm and humid. Maybe a passing rain shower, maybe coming up for day tomorrow. Hardly even enough to mention, but we'll start mentioning those on your day Wednesday. And better chances for Friday and Saturday as the front gets closer to us and stays over the region, giving us the lift we need in the atmosphere. Highs in the 80s to near 90, above normal. Lows near 70 degrees, maybe some upper 60s after the front moves through by the weekend. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code, see right there. They'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, it's sports at your fingertips on your phone. Very easy, convenient, and it's free of charge to do so. Don?
Thank you, Trey. Sports Director Max Williams is here. Softball playoff action underway, Max.
That's right, Don. We had a wild first-round softball playoff action across the Crossroads last week, but what will the second round have entail? I'll review the full second-round playoff schedule for 2A, 3A, 4A, and 5A teams left in the playoffs coming up in sports. All right, crowd, so this week we have a busy week of high school sports here in the Crossroads with the girls golf state tournament starting today. The state track meet's going to start up on Friday, and the first round of boys playoffs starting this week. But also, we have second round action of softball playoffs as well. We're going to look at the 2A and 3A area round playoff schedule. Right now, as we know it, the Shiner Lady Comanches are facing the Falls City Beavers in the second round. That's going to start at Thursday, May 1st at 5 p.m. with Game 2 going to be 30 minutes after Game 1. And the games will all be played there at Seguin Matador Stadium. And then for Ganado, the Madians are going to face Three Rivers Bulldogs there. That's also going to be Thursday, May 1st at 6 p.m. with Game 2 at Friday there at 6 p.m. there. So one game will be at May 1st. The other one will be there at 6 o'clock on Friday at Sinton High School. Then in 3A, the Oakland Bulldogs, after upsetting Goliad last week, they're going to face the Hondo Owls, and the destination time is still to be announced for that game and series. For the Houtsville Lady Brahmans, they'll face the Yurdenton Saguas Thursday at 6 at Yurdenton High School. And then Game 2 will be Friday at 5 p.m. at Hallettsville High School. Then finally, Tidehaven Tigerettes facing the Cotulla Cowgirls for Game 1 Friday at May 2nd at 7 p.m. and then Game 2 will be Saturday, May 3rd. All those games will be at the Kennedy Sports Complex. Now over to our 4A and 5A teams still remaining. First, in 4A, Division I El Campo Lady Birds are facing the Tulsa Midway Cherokees. Game 1 will be Thursday night at 6 p.m. at Tulsa Midway High School. Then Game 2 will be Friday at 6 p.m. there at El Campo High School. Then similar for Quail, the Lady Gobblers are facing the Wimberley Texans in the second round. Game 1 there Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at Wimberley High School. With then Game 2 being Friday right here close by Cuero High School at 6:30 p.m. on Friday. And then 5A, Victoria West Warriors are facing the Eastview Patriots for Game 1 Thursday at 7 p.m. with Game 2 going to be on Friday at 5 p.m. And all those games will be at Marion High School. And then Victoria East, they face the Hendrickson Hawks Thursday at 6 p.m. with their first game. And then Games 2 and 3 will be Friday at 5, and Game 3 will be afterward if needed. They'll be at Weimer High School. Now from softball playoffs to the day one of the girls Golf State Championships held around the Austin area. First in 3A, we're still at the Jimmy Clay Golf Course in Austin. Third place team from the regionals, Industrial Cobras, are currently in 7th place as former athlete of the week, Pacey Rowe, leading the individual scoring for the Cobras with a plus 18 score. And then junior Shelby Pletcher's right behind there with the plus 19 over par. And then Yoakum had one individual placer in Emma Fling, who is 26 over par right now. in day one action there in the girls state tournament will finish up tomorrow afternoon. Over to the girls 2A with the Shiner Lady Comanches being the only team in our area competing in that. They're also in the Austin area. They're playing at the Lions Municipal Golf Course in Austin. And currently after day one, the Comanches are in 8th place with a team score of 128 over par. And the two top scorers for the Comanches are basketball star and Morgan Lanahan with a 24 over par score, then Callie Crispin right behind there at 25 over par. And Lady Comanches are back in action for the first player teeing off. That will be at 9:10 a.m. Now, from those high school sports to some college sports, where UHV baseball is preparing to travel to Sterlington, Louisiana, to play first-round action of the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament versus the Southwest Mustangs. And UHV heads into the postseason a 37-13 overall record and 22-8 in conference play. Head coach Jonathan Stavanoa knows his team is ready for a deep postseason run this season.
Do what we've been doing all year and play our style of baseball. It's jag ball, and you know, it's what can I do for the team if one guy goes down, who's next? You know, things are going to go wrong, but how do we overcome those things, and how do we keep the momentum on our side always? And that's kind of what this team's been really good at.
Like Coach Stavanoa said, there'll be bumps in the road here going in the postseason, but the Jags baseball team has been through a lot of adversity the entire season, which will shape them well here going into the playoffs. So stay tuned later for 25 News Now at 10 p.m. where we'll hear from Red Bear Athletic Pitcher of the Week, Julian Garcia, about how his mindset is going into the playoffs as well. That's going to do it here in sports. Don, back to you.
Max, thank you, and we're back in a moment. In Alaska, skiers took one last run down the slopes to a soaking wet finish. Finally tonight, an Alaskan ski resort hosted its 48th annual Spring Carnival over the weekend. That has to be cold, okay? The carnival included the legendary Alaska Slush Cup, during which 50 people tried to make it over an 80-foot-long by 40-foot-wide pond at the base of the mountain. Due to the lack of snow this year, the resort began collecting and putting aside snow for the event in March. The family-friendly, oh, that's really got to be cold. The family-friendly carnival also included free dog mushing and the Alaskan Gladiator Games. But for the skiers, the end of the ski season at the resort went out with a splash. That's just really, those people have got to be just shaking every piece of their body.
I would
and he's
say
trying
so.
to get over there, get me
He's
out
having
of
a hard
this
time.
water.
That's got to take, like I said, a lot of guts there, Don. You know,
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of things to do that.
Oh,
especially
A lot
that's-
of guts
yeah.
and probably a little bit of craziness too.
Exactly. Add that as well.
Taking a big plunge there.
Well, we're not going to take a big plunge into rain this week, are we?
Small little plunge is about it. Small
little,
chances,
okay.
but we'll take anything we can get because we need it so badly. Well, 50% chance is not too bad for Friday and Saturday as the front gets closer to us. Highs in the 80s each day, lows in the 70-degree range. So carry umbrella just in case. Last on through the weekend with that as well.
Now, you're not thinking it's going to be flooding around here?
No,
with
not at all. Not at all. If it won't be anything widespread, it'll be kind of scattered at best. So some areas get rain, some areas may miss it altogether, but at least there's a chance we'll go with that.
Yeah, and DeWitt County will get some rain too?
Sure will.
They just lifted their burn ban today.
Sure will, yes.
All right, very good. All right, Trey, thank you. Max, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.